Crypto exchanges have something to prove. Get ready for $1 billion in Solana to unlock, and big companies are buying the dip again. My name is Frankie Candles, and this is your crypto news wrap-up. Let's get it. As we swim in a sea of red after learning there was a shark in the FTX reserve pool, Binance called on the industry to do better. In a tweet, CZ said exchanges should publish information on their Merkle tree and stated that even though banks run on fractional reserves, crypto should not. What's a Merkle tree? Also called binary hash trees, they're a record of users' assets in smaller leaf nodes, and is basically an audited summary of who holds what assets on their exchange. 9 exchanges have already committed to the task: Binance, KuCoin, Poloniex, Huobi, Bybit, and others. But will a 1-month wait for Binance and KuCoin's numbers be too long to wait? For me, this information is another reminder that if you don't own the keys, it's not your crypto. I mean, think about it. These companies are proving their reserves with your capital. It will be nice to know they're not doing any 10x degen trades with your funds. But personally, I like to keep my money where I can see it, stored cold. Click here for a great deal on a Trezor hardware wallet. Now, let's pass it over to Frankie Candles for a market watch.
Thanks, Frank. All right, guys, let's jump in and do a little market watch as Bitcoin is getting absolutely crushed right now. Bitcoin coming in at $16,112, down 12% on the day. Shout out to anybody who shorted that. Ethereum coming in at $11.29, down about 14% on the day. I'm going to go ahead and check the top losers. FTT down 89% on the week. Absolutely insane. Solana down 52% on the week. Lido down 40%. Kava down 40%. Curve down 35%. Quant down 30%. Chili's down 30%. ApeCoin down 30%. Arweave down 35%. And Aptos down 44%. Now, guys, I do want to bring you over to the Bitcoin chart as we are getting absolutely crushed. Price is absolutely collapsing. However, I do just want to bring up a couple of things. Confirmed yellow X on our 4-hour time frame. That's a pretty bearish sign. Also, our 4-day is now printing a blood diamond. You could see it here in all of its glory. That is a very rare bearish sign. Now, this has actually already brought us down a ton. However, it does have the potential to play out more. If it confirms, it could continue us to the downside even further. But we are coming up to our first level of support below our last level, which was this 786 fib at 17,800. And the level that we're sticking to right now is this level. It is a higher volume node, and it is coming in at about 15,750. And we also do have the confluence of these yellow spider lines coming up, which should give us a little bit of cushion. But just remember, in times like this, guys, sometimes price can just push through all support. And like I said, the higher daily timeframes are looking pretty bearish. Now, short-term bounces are not out of the question, but in the longer term, the way the higher timeframes look, it does look like we could continue this move to the downside. But for now, let's see if we can hold 15,750. And if we break these levels, we could be coming down to that lower range that we've been talking about a lot on this channel, and that is the range between 14 and 12K. If you guys want to keep up with the markets and learn how to make money trading crypto, whether the price is going up or down, you could find me on YouTube at Frankie Candles or Frankie_Candles on all socials. Back to the news.
Thanks, Frank. Hang in there, man. The downfall of FTX hit portfolios hard, and you won't be surprised to hear that Sam Bankman-Fried's finances aren't looking too hot either. No longer a billionaire, his net worth is estimated to have dropped 94% in just one day, from its high around $15.2 billion down to $991 million. CZ released a statement that what happened with FTX wasn't part of some master plan. And in fact, this is straight up bad for all of crypto. He said when SBF called yesterday, he had no idea he would be in such dire straits, and that this hasn't been a win for Binance. He encouraged people not to trade FTT tokens, saying if you have a bag, you have a bag. And as of right now, Binance is still holding a bag of FTT tokens as well. He finished with some wag me cheerleading, encouraging investors to ignore prices and keep building. Translation, keep getting pummeled by Max Payne and hold out for better days ahead. Easy for you to say, CZ. Some of us are still waiting on our multi-billion-dollar net worth. Meanwhile, almost $1 billion in Solana tokens are set to be unlocked today. And get ready for the potential of even more turmoil, because a person familiar with the matter said that Binance may go ahead with acquiring FTX after all. A deal that the market was counting on to hold up the value of assets FTX would have to liquidate if it was left to free fall. All that's left to do now is stick together, BitSquad. It's our best chance of making it out alive. Even the stock market felt the effects of yesterday's news, with the price of Robinhood stock dropping 20%. Why the pullback? Turns out FTX had a 7.6% stake in the company, which Ross Gerber said was bought with monopoly money. Coinbase's coin dropped over 10% yesterday, with Cathie Wood's ARK scooping up another 420,000 shares with 21.4 million in capital. If there's one public company that's getting very good at buying the dip, it's ARK. And that dip they're buying just keeps dipping. We know the feeling, Cathie. Zuckerberg is still bullish on Web3 as well, with an announcement that Meta's 13% workforce layoffs will have the least effect on the company's metaverse aspirations. Cathie and Zuck must believe that Web3 has so much upside potential that one day it will save their whole company. Or maybe they would rather weather this economic storm in a much less real and a way more virtual reality. Same. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out.